Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for BroadwayWorld. Following a critically acclaimed, sold-out run at the Atlantic Theater, the new musical Days of Wine and Roses is coming to Broadway's Studio 54 Theater, and we drop by Sardi's to catch up with a company led by the show's two stars, Kelli O'Hara and Brian Darcy James. You're about to return to Broadway in this glorious musical. How excited are you?
Oh my gosh, I will always be excited to return to Broadway, but especially something that is this connected to me. We've been working on this for 21 years. Well, yes, Brian and I had just closed a little show called Sweet Smell of Success, and I met Adam doing a workshop of The Light in the Piazza, and I asked him to write this, and he did. He got the rights, and over the next many years, worked on it. We would get together and do a small reading here, a small reading there. But I wasn't ready to do it then, and I couldn't have known that. But now I know that I'm ready, and I wanted to tell this story with Brian, and in a way that I could sing it in the deepest part of my soul. So for me, this is sort of a career high.
To be back on stage with Kelli in this particular story, I mean, it's a very demanding piece, and I think kind of jumping off the cliff, Butch and Sundance style with Kelli is a real treat. It's rare that you get to do something like this at all that we did at the Atlantic Theater. It's even more rare when you get to kind of take that experience and then do it on a Broadway stage, which is what we're about to start to do. So it's thrilling because the nature of the show, the nature of the people, the talent involved, and the story that we're telling that we're all so invested in. It's a gift.
The idea that Kelli and Brian are actually playing these parts, and I wrote them for them, is not common. And I think the show really benefits from that. I just know how they sound. I know, I mean, they're both glorious singers. And it also benefits from the fact that they are beautiful friends. I mean, they've been friends for a long time, and that chemistry fills in a lot of the detail that we don't have to and don't have time to cover, in the book and in the songs.
You work with some of the greatest performers on stage. What it's been like working with Kelli and Brian creating this?
It's been like working among the greatest performers on stage. The skill is extraordinary. The courage, the bravery is extraordinary. The openness, the commitment to truth, to just wanting to tell the truth with all of its challenging aspects. There's no shying away, again, from the highs, the exhilarating highs, and the horrific lows of this piece. And the places that the two of them go is quite extraordinary. Yeah. And to be able to be the editor of it, because it feels like that's what I'm doing. As with many great performers, you're not there to push or inspire. They're inspired. The material is inspiring them. It's taking them places. I get to shape things. I get to edit things. I get to remind people about what a long journey might be. But it's truly a privilege to be a part of their process. And I mean, all four of them. I mean, you've identified four extraordinary artists.
When I started to talk to Mark Cortale, who's my producing partner, who actually brought it to me, and then we got Joey Amanda and Lorenzo Tione to join us. We're like, okay, let's see what happens at the Atlantic. We think this can do it, and sure enough, sold out very quickly. Nobody saw it because there just weren't any seats, and so we said, let's try to get it to a bigger venue. So the Roundabout gave us the theater we really wanted, Studio 54. We felt it's that kind of a place. Given its history of, I think there was some alcohol consumed in that area in the 70s and 80s. And let's do this at Studio 54 and really bring something very different to Broadway this season.
And just being back on Broadway again, what it means to you.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, for so many years I just went fast and furious, and then I had my kids, and so I haven't been back on Broadway since Kiss Me Kate, which was now 2019. So this feels, there's a daunting nature to the schedule. There's also a great thrill and adrenaline rush to it because it is home for me. It's what I know, and it's where I love to be, so I'm so happy.
And you're coming back to Broadway with Kelly. How exciting is that?
It's very exciting. Yeah, I mean, the more I do this, and every chance that I get to be on a Broadway stage is, I am so grateful, and I feel I hope I never take an ounce of it for granted. When I go see a show, when I'm in the audience, I know that feeling that I have of excitement and like, and I've been doing this for a long time, and I know probably 80% of the people that I'm watching, but there's that feeling of wanting to have an experience that is unlike anything else on Broadway. So I know what that feels like for me, and I feel so lucky that I get to be on the other side of that and hopefully deliver for the people that came to have a great experience.